What's up, guys? We are first seed coming at you with a starts of the week for week 14, first week of the playoffs. Hopefully, you are in it. And if you're not, hopefully, you are fighting to not come in last place, as Mike currently is in our main league. So I guess let's just get started. These are some guys that we think you can start this week and get you a big win. I'm going to get us started with Ryan Tannehill as my start. He's been killing it. I think the past 3 weeks he's had over 20 points. And this week he gets the Jacksonville Jaguars, who is bottom 5 in the league for passing for quarterback points in fantasy. And Kirk Cousins just destroyed them last week. I think Tannehill is on a roll. He's got a great supporting cast with him this year, and he's killing it, and he'll have a big week this week. So I am happy to slam him in my starting lineups.
Yep, and I'm sticking with that
Yeah, I
tight.
agree.
Oh, go ahead, man. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No. All right, cool. No, I was gonna say I agree, Kyle. I think it could be a big day for for the Titans' offense in general. Derrick Henry is poised to have a great week. I think the Jazz are going to try and focus on him primarily, so it's going to leave a lot of options for Tannehill and AJ Brown to have monster games. Proof that they're one of the best duos in the league just because of that. That's all.
Yeah, and that's exactly what I was going to say, kind of. And even with AJ Brown and Tannehill, I was going to add on Corey Davis, which is one of my starts of the week. He's coming off a season high, and I was just talking before the show. He's only had one game below 10 points this season, and that's when he put up a goose egg. He had 3 targets in the game, no catches. But other than that, I mean, 10 points PPR for the entire season, that's insane. And that's kind of what everybody was kind of thinking Corey Davis would do last year. And it just didn't end up happening. A.J. Brown came on as a rookie and kind of stole the show in that second half of the year. But Corey Davis is really a great receiver. He'd probably be a number one on any other team in the league right now, other than a few, obviously. But Corey Davis, I'm 100% starting him this week. The Titans are hanging on to the wild card right now. And I think they pull out a win. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, Corey Davis, I love him. I've had a hatred for him the past couple of years because he's always been hyped to be that guy that you can get off the waivers. He's going to be a great player because he has that 1 week every year and he disappears. But this year, he has been so consistent. These past for last week, this week, and the next week, he has the easiest stretch of games for a fantasy receiver. So I guess him and AJ Brown are both smash plays. So if you're in the playoffs at either of those two, you're in luck at least for the first 2 rounds. So I'm super comfy with Corey Davis in my lineups.
All right, for my start, I'm going to go with Brandon Ayuk. He's been performing wonderfully over the past couple of weeks. I think Kyle blessed us with a stat on Twitter saying that he's only behind Devontae Adams and Tyreek Hill in terms of production. And when looking at his stats, it's easy to see why. First off, the past 3 games that he's played, he's been on the field over 85% of their snap share. So that just shows that he's poised to have opportunities to produce for your team. And in those games, he's had 7 catches, 5 catches, and 8 catches. So in terms of PPR leagues, that's half the battle right there. And he's also scored in each of his last 4 games, actually, that he's played. So that is a eye-dropping stat to see in terms of production. And I think that he's going against the Washington defense that may cause trouble for Mullen in terms of pass rush and stuff like that. And Mullins had a problem with that last week. But I think that if he can get the ball off, then Ayuk is poised to have a great week.
Yeah, Ayuk, I'm a big fan of him this playoff season. I also saw since week 7, he is the wide receiver 4 in points per game. And that is a guy that you want on your team. So I'm going to keep us going. My next start of the week is Jonathan Taylor, the running back for the Indianapolis Colts. He's kind of had a rough season. People have been benching him. I've sat him in a few leagues just out of frustration of what I thought he could be and what he has been. But this week, I think and hope that he has a big week. They face the Las Vegas Raiders. And I don't know if you guys saw, they almost lost to the winless New York Jets last week, where Ty Johnson, their running back 3, maybe 4, went off for 19.7 PPR points. To be honest, if Ty Johnson can do that, I hope that Jonathan Taylor can do that this week. So Jonathan Taylor and I guess Nyheim Hines, I love them both this week.
Yeah, I would definitely stay on board with the Colts running backs. They're another team too, just like I was saying with the Titans, that are right there. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, the Colts are the division leader in that division right now.
Yes, but I think
yeah.
they have a similar record.
Okay, so even with them and the Texans right now, or not the Texans, the Titans, it's a really close race there. So I'm on board with the running backs this week, and I'd continue to start all of them. So now going to my start of the week, I'm gonna go with J.D. McKissic as my start of the week this week. So the Redskins just found out that Gibson has turf toe, and the average time to turf toe is anywhere from 14 days, anywhere up to 30 to 40 days, and even longer. But the average is somewhere in there. I think I saw a stat the other day that the average time, or the quickest time that anybody has ever recovered from turf toe was, I believe, 11 to 13 days. It was something like that. And it was Randall Cobb. And that was just, it was mind-blowing to me. But turf toe for a running back, that's really, really tough. So I'm expecting him to miss some time. J.D. McKissic came off of a 10-reception game last week, in a game that they actually won. And it's kind of interesting because as the year went on, McKissic kind of had this receiving role where if they were behind in the game, he kind of saw more production. But that really was not the case last week. It was just a rough defense. It was a really good defense. And he put up 10 catches on 10 receptions. So this week they're going up against San Francisco, another team that this team is on the losing end of things this year, not having a great season, but another great defense. And now with Peyton Barber taking the realm, I 100% expect McKissick's snap share to go up even more from 73 last week. And I expect him to be in that probably 7 to infinite receptions this week. Who knows what's going to happen, but he's definitely a guy that I'm not sitting this week.
Dante, you got something to say?
Oh yeah. I'm sorry, it's lagging for me. I agree, Kyle. I mean, I agree, Mike. I think in terms of snap share, that's something to look at. 73%. I agree with you. It's going to increase. The 10 receptions. I mean, that's definitely an anomaly. The only thing close to that is against the Giants when he had 9, and he's had 7 a couple of times. But I think in terms of PPR leagues, that's and if you're in a PPR format, that's probably one of the best running backs to go for this upcoming week. San Francisco is a stingy defense, but I think that in terms of just overall how many opportunities he's going to have to produce, I think JD is poised to have a good week.
Yeah, I actually just found out that J.D. McKissic is the RB25 on the season. Bit of a surprise to me, but I mean, he's been a solid fantasy asset, and
those receptions, man.
It really is. All right, yeah, I'm starting J.D. McKissic, especially without Antonio Gibson. Absolutely. Dante, who's your next start of the week?
I'm going to go with Justin Herbert. He came off a not so good game against New England, 209 yards and 2 picks. However, he's going against the worst passing defense in the league right now in the Falcons. Against bad defenses such as the Falcons, He's had against the Jets, he had 366 yards, 3 touchdowns. Denver, he had 278, 3 touchdowns. Jacksonville, 347, 3 touchdowns. So it's leading me to believe that against this team coming up, against the Falcons, that he's going to have a great game. He's going to be throwing to Keenan Allen all day. And I think, what else? Yeah, I actually think it's going to be a good week for Mike Williams, too. I think the deep threat is going to be there all day just because they're going to be focusing on Eckler and Keenan Allen. So I think the Falcons defense is going to leave a lot of opportunities for Mike Williams to have massive production, too. But in terms of Herbert, I think it's just, the New England's defense was throwing him looks that he's never seen before. You know how Belichick is with rookie quarterbacks. He usually always has his way with them. So I think Herbert is going to bounce back with this week. It's pretty much a bye week. So.
Yeah, Herbert, man, I just remember all the talk that we had to start the season and even preseason, how we were so excited for Justin Herbert. And I even went on a limb to say that I think that he's going to have the most successful season out of any quarterback in that quarterback class. And the guy has just been phenomenal. I mean, over the past 3 weeks, he's had 49 attempts, 52 attempts, 53 attempts. That is just crazy for to be that consistent throwing the ball. And then obviously he played New England last week, and that was just an ugly, ugly game. We literally thought Anthony Lynn was going to be gone, and he still has a job. I don't know how, but I mean Adam Gase still has a job, so I don't know. We don't even look into that. But he faced Buffalo and New England, and combined in those 2 games, he had 1 touchdown, which kind of hurt his fantasy production. But against Atlanta, which is a great defense for quarterbacks fantasy-wise, if he throws the ball 50 times, this guy could be a DFS winner. He could get you a win in your wild card this week. It's going to be amazing to see what he could do this week. Big fan.
Yeah, I'm expecting big things out of Herbert this week, especially against Atlanta. It's major bounce back week. I really don't see him performing poorly, but it's the NFL. You never really know. All right, so what?
It's 2020. You never really know with this year, so
yeah, you don't know anything about this year.
Yeah.
So unless any of you guys have anything else to say?
No, man. Good luck to everybody. Wild card weekend, man. Also, last week I took a week off. I just want to say it's great to be back and see you guys.
Good to have you back, man.
Yeah, absolutely. So to wrap up, our starts are Ryan Tannehill, Jonathan Taylor, J.D. McKissic, Corey Davis, Brandon Ayuk, and Justin Herbert. Hopefully you're starting them. Hopefully you have them. And we wish you luck in this playoff week 1.